9 people are
We had a
here.
waiting room.
Welcome to the waiting room, Cameron.
Hello, hello. How is everyone? This is going to be a big show. I can feel it. I can feel it. Get in that giveaway. Welcome to Shipping 101.
What's up, Lynn?
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Mandy, Tara, Brenda, Slate. So nice to see you. I got Wheezy, Teresa, Jackie. I see random name. I see you couples, TML, Zenith. I got you, bottoms up. Did you get your dice yet? What is up? You are so welcome, Jackie. That's how we feel every time your name pops on our screen. Guys, tonight is Jacob's going to be doing a lot of talking tonight. It's basically going to be the Shipping 101 with Jacob. I'm going to be behind the scenes, but I just want to welcome you all in. Make sure you get in this giveaway. We have a couple things to chat about before we get started today, but I need to make sure you have a pen and paper because I'm a very visual learner. And he's going to do a lot of obviously talking, but he's going to be very visual with you guys too. That's how we both really learn the best. But yes, this is Shipping 101. We're only going to talk about shipping. We have seller support shows every Tuesdays. And yeah, it's super exciting. But a couple things for our mods, please follow all of our mods. If they say anything during the show, obviously they're trusted, but I'm going to basically be modding our own show for the most part, like watching questions. So Cameron, we appreciate you being here just to send some reminders throughout.
And Mandy.
And Mandy. A couple things here is really just checking the show notes. I think that's super important. Every House of Coop show, we have show notes now. So they should be right here. There's some information about what we're going to be covering today. It's not limited to, but it's some of the basics of selling. It's everything that you need and want to know about selling here on Whatnot. If this is your first time here, my name's Ashley. This is my incredible husband, Jacob. He is taller than me, I promise. It's just how we're sitting.
I have bad posture.
No, but we're out in the garage. And anyways, we're the Coopers, aka House of Coop. We are right outside of Tampa, Florida. We are full-time resellers on Whatnot only. And we basically started Whatnot as a hobby, and then it turned into a side hustle, if you will. We both had full-time jobs, and then it turned into a full-time job for both of us as of April of 2025. So it's been a super fast process for us, but we've had so much support by all of you. And we are a premier shop. We pride ourselves on that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. Please know that this Shipping 101, it is facts when it comes to shipping and how to set up your settings correctly. But some things are the way that House of Coop does it. Jacob has, I'm going to brag on him. House of Coop has done over 25,000 items to date, and that's 25,000 and some change. Not everybody is in a place where they're doing this full time. Not everybody has two people running things behind the scenes, but Jacob specifically has done all the packing himself. I may have helped once just to see what he was doing, but he gets in his zone, and this is like he's got his zone, he's got his setup, and he's perfected his process. If you've ever received something from House of Coop, please drop emojis in the chat. I just want to know if you've experienced the shipping from House of Coop. Any emojis in the chat would be great. We have a 5-star review. Our stats are 99
over 5,000
over 5,000 5-star reviews. Our stats are on 99.999%. Again, we are a premier shop, so there's all these things that you have to hit to be able to stay within those guidelines and those stats. So we're very proud of that. All of that being said, every Tuesday night we dedicate seller supports to talk to you guys just from our perspective of what's worked for us. And shipping is, we always say, is the backbone of our entire business, right? Some of you do this for a hobby. Some of you, this is fun. Some of you are doing it by yourself, and it's a lot of hard work. I could not do this without Jacob, and he couldn't do it without me. But the shipping part specifically, he just has down to a science. So This is going to be all his show. The giveaway winner is going to go. I just want to say a couple quick things, reminders. Oh my gosh.
Flips, I saw you say something. I love you, Flips. You know how much I love
So
you. You can buy whatever
it's been
you
a
want.
hot minute since I've seen that name. Congratulations, you woke up a winner. But a couple things here. Please note that this is how House of Coop does shipping. If you see other sellers doing things other ways and it's just as successful, or you yourself have done things other ways, please know by all means, we're not saying this is the only way you can do it. This is just how we've been successful in-house, how we've been able to get things safely, over 25,000 items safely to people's homes. We've made mistakes in the very beginning. We started this not knowing anything about reselling, and we feel like we've perfected our process. The second major thing I want to talk about is vintage wars. Vintage wars, vintage wars, vintage wars. If everybody can just type in the chat, say vintage wars, you need to know what it's about. We have a massive, massive friendly competition this Saturday. You all should have heard about it by now. It is our 12th month doing Vintage Wars, which is mind blowing. If you don't know what Vintage Wars is, House of Coop started it 12 months ago. It's a fast and friendly competition with 17 sellers. It's all sudden death auctions only. And there's so much preparation that goes behind it. It is basically, it takes over Whatnot the day that it's on. But we have really, it's grown so tremendously that everybody is getting about 300 people plus in their shows every single time. And every summary show we break a new record of amount of people that we have in our show. Last vintage, or two vintage wars again. Let me put this in perspective. In Vintage Wars episode 10, our summary show had about 650 people in it. Episode 11 had over 900 people in it. And this time with episode 12, we believe we're going to break Whatnot with over 1,000 people in the summary show. And that's all because of everybody who's been a part of it every time, spreading the word about how awesome this competition is. And all of you are who make it absolutely incredible. So sudden death is 15 seconds or less auctions.
And on average, there's 120 to 150 items sold by each person in their 30 minutes. So someone earlier said you need this mini shelf. It's got a rooster on top. It's a barn. That's going to start at $1 on Vintage Wars. We do all random pulls during our show, so you're going to have to stay tuned. We have absolute amazing items. And tomorrow night, we have a regular show, and we're going to do a preview of some of the items for Vintage Wars. I want to say one thing real quick is questions we normally take. We will try to take some. Ashley's going to be monitoring them, but it will be a little bit tough to answer everything. And we had some questions already asked on Instagram. We're going to answer those near the end, but go ahead. Sorry.
So going back to Vintage Wars, we are going to create a video that will be posted on Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram, House of Coop FL. That's where you see a lot of behind the scenes and updates that we don't get to share during shows. Obviously, Whatnot is for selling and for being on here. It's not like a social media app where we can make posts. So following us on social media is a huge part so that you can stay in the loop about everything. Feel free to message us if you have any questions, but we're going to make a whole video about Vintage Wars now that we're on month 12, which is cray cray. It's going to be super exciting. So shipping 101. Hi, Bree. I see you in your colors.
Yeah, farmhouse. What up, girl?
But we are basically going to dive into it. The camera's going to flip around. Please know I'm watching all of the comments. We are going to be recording this show tonight and posting it on social media for you to rewatch. We said it. Don't make me regret. No burping or farting on screen. This is going to be recorded, okay? But it's going to be posted on social media. There's many people that's asked us to do this, and they weren't able to make it tonight. People have had this on their calendars, so
it'll be for sure. Just so you know, if you're not following us on Facebook, you can find us House of Coop on Facebook. That'll probably be where we post it, and YouTube. But we'll announce
tell you where
our social media, which you can find in the show notes. So,
but
Cameron.
Jacob's going to be doing all the talking. Obviously, I'm going to be watching the chat. Thank you to the mods, but we're going to go ahead and flip around. We are in the shipping zone. We are in the shipping zone, which is our garage. But why don't you briefly tell them where we started? Because was this always your shipping?
Oh, guys, I am very blessed, very fortunate to be in our garage, and we live in Florida, by the
I'm
way.
gonna zoom out.
There's no AC out here yet, so it is a little toasty. We have a little fan of goodness, but we started out in a 600 square foot apartment, and we did all of our selling, all of our shipping out of that apartment. So it was very, very small, very, very tight. So for those of you who have a small area to ship from, we understand your pain. We totally get it. I've been there. I've had to work around inventory while I'm shipping. We have, like Ashley said in the show notes, there are 10 bullet points which we think can make you super successful with shipping. Obviously I run the back end. We run the front, the selling portion together, but Ashley's the creative mastermind. She's really the one that curates things, does things like that. But the shipping is all me. And why it's all me is because I've just really perfected a system and I like to do it alone. I don't know. I'm just weird.
He likes
Very
me to stick with
OCD.
shopping.
Yeah, I want Ashley to shop. I want her to
It's
use
not
her
that I
create.
can't help.
No, it's not that she can't help. I just want her to be creative. I want her to just have fun shopping and doing all that because that's a big portion of it too. So
And the receipts.
and the receipts.
I'm
Yeah,
the
there's
accountant.
a lot of back end stuff she's doing on that end. But I truly believe and we believe that shipping is the backbone. And not only is it the backbone,
Oh.
shipping will make or break you for your buyers. Because especially if you're new, if you're just starting off and your buyers are receiving everything broken or they're having to pay at the door because you don't have the right label, whatever it is, it's going to give you a really negative experience. And you only get the one time to make a first impression. There's never a second time for that. So when they're receiving the item, it's absolutely vital. So we're going to go over the 10 topics in order. Ashley is going to be reading questions and everything as we go. But
And I'm
just
gonna go
know
like this if I have something.
she's going to raise her hand behind the camera. I have ADHD brain, so I cannot even see you guys tonight. She is not letting me see the chat because I will get lost in the sauce and forget what I'm talking about. So love you guys, whoever comes in here.
So a couple things just to reiterate. Now that more people are in here, please check the show notes. I'm bragging. Jacob has single-handedly packed over 25,000 items, and people want to know, and I'm going to answer. They asked, "Are you for rent?"
I would be the most expensive rental of your life because let me tell you, I will ship and I have no problem shipping, but it is not always fun. Look, I understand how much shipping can suck. I get it. And like I said, we live in Florida, so a lot of you complaining that you have 100-degree weather right now, we have that for at least 6 months out of the year. So I don't like the complaining because it is what it is. I love Florida, but it's hot. I'm out in a garage. I'm not out shopping. I'm not sitting down on the couch eating Pringles. I'm not having fun. So
And a couple things that we'll just interject before we get started. Flip wants to know what music you listen to or what do you do while you're packing that helps distract you and keep you motivated.
a lot of the times I'm watching people's shows. If you see House of Coop and they're not saying anything in your show, it's me just lurking. I'll have my headphones in. I'm just listening to you sell, listening to whatever you're talking about. If it's a talk show, whatever it is. But if it's music, I told this before. I grew up in the early 2000s emo period. So Day to Remember is my favorite band. All that, Taking Back Sunday, anything like that is blaring in my headphones the whole time.
And my second thing before you start is, do you normally ship right after a show?
Yeah, flips. I love the used. Yeah, the next day. So we have 1 day shipping. We've always had 1 day shipping. I pride myself on making sure that's done. So we normally have nighttime shows. So we don't end till about 11:30, 12 at the earliest. I wake up about 8 o'clock and I'm starting shipping by 9 a.m. I'm having 2 cups of coffee, take the dog out, etc. And then it's right to shipping. So then realistically, by the way, just so you guys know, if we sell 250 items, which is normal in a show, I'm shipping from 9 to 5. 9 to 5. It's a full day of shipping. So it's not like I have this down to 2 hours, anything like that, unless it's linens. Thank you, linens. I love those. But it takes time, guys. So if it takes you time, we're dealing with vintage decor. There's glass, there's brass, there's breakables, there's bubble wrap. Just know you're doing it right. You'll get better and more proficient as you go.
And because you've been you got it down pat, on one of our main shows, our regular Wednesday night shows where we sell about 260 items, how long roughly does that take you?
That's what I just said. If it's
Oh, did you?
from 9 to 5
Okay.
shipping, yeah.
Okay, 9 to 5. Got it. All right, let's go ahead and dive into what you have to say. All your questions, I'm taking note. If he doesn't answer them already, just we'll get back into it.
Yeah, I saw a couple people asking about box sizes, flat rates. We're going to go into everything, guys. We're going to start off. This is like if you've never shipped anything, this might sound redundant at parts. If you've been selling on here forever, you might learn a thing or two. I don't know, but I just want to go over. And then the show notes is the 10 points we're going over. So I'm going to start with point one, guys. I'm like the professor, the teacher today. Number one is setting up your shipping station. I believe that it is crucially vital to be organized in every aspect of a business. So whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you're shipping, whatever it is, organization is key. So setting up your shipping station should be vital. You should not walk from one room to another to go get a shipping label. You should not walk from one room to another to go get bubble wrap every time. You're killing yourself on time. Figure out a way to just create a little desk, a hutch, whatever it is, if you only have limited space to set up a shipping station. You want to be organized. If you see, I don't know if actually being able to pan, we've upgraded recently to I have this computer now for shipping, but I have my printer right here.
Hold on. Okay.
I have my printer right here. I have all my paper, my bubble wrap. By the way, guys, we're going to show you some life hacks. This is just a clothes rack. This is a $20 clothes rack. We can fit 3 rolls of bubble wrap on there, so it just rolls. I have all my supplies. So everything right here, all my go-to boxes are here.
So real quick, all of these supplies that he's mentioning are all listed in our Instagram bio link. Most of it's from Amazon. We won't be repeating where the supplies are from consistently, so please check that.
Yeah, so I have all my normal boxes, the USPS boxes, which I'll go into more later. I have other boxes that I use. And then even down below, because we use 6-foot regular tables, I have more boxes that are readily available. I also have my paper always on standby, ready to go, guys. So this is void fill paper.
But you didn't always have this chair. What helps you with this chair?
No, my wife also got me a nice computer chair. This is it's
he
in our,
rolls.
It's in our,
jeez, Ozzy.
It's in our bio as well.
Just stepped on his paw.
So I have to make sure. But it's in our bio as well. Everything we use, we don't gatekeep. We give you guys access to. I will start with the bubble wrap. Is not on Instagram. It's on that link. It's AmericanBubbleBoy.com is where you can get your bubble wrap. That's where we have found to be the cheapest. They deliver it right to you. Time is money. You're going to hear me talk about this a lot. That's why I believe in the organization. You want to be able to have stuff delivered to you because especially a lot of you guys are doing this part-time. You may be doing it full-time. Whatever it is, it already takes a lot of time. You shouldn't be traveling 30 minutes away for a roll of bubble wrap.
So what if somebody does not have this quote unquote ideal space?
Yeah, if you don't have the ideal space like this set up, like I said, you want to have a hutch, you want to have something, even a little desk. You can buy a desk from IKEA for $20, from Walmart for $20. Have it set up,
or
have your stuff, or thrift it. Yeah, you can go to Goodwill, probably get one for $10. Well, I mean, they raise the prices, but there's a lot of places you can get it. You need to at least have something that you can set up. I mean, a standard desk is 3 feet wide. I guarantee you can find 3 feet in your home for that desk, and you can at least have something to set yourself up. I used to do all the shipping off the iPad, so you don't necessarily have to have a computer. I will say, do not use the app, just your phone. I know you can ship from there. I would not do it because if you guys know, we're adjusting weights, we're changing box sizes, all that. I've never shipped from the app. I never will because it doesn't give me the control that I need as the professional there. So, like I said, you want to have all your boxes. You're going to have tape. You need a scale. Guys, I've done all 25,000 items with this scale right here. This is how no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
We have a digital scale right here.
Link is with our Amazon.
So I have this set up in the middle, guys. So you want to be able to weigh everything accurately. Whenever you finish a box, you want to have the final weight and be able to know exactly where you're at.
I thought that was funny.
So those are all the essentials. And once again, organization not only helps you be successful, it's all about the speed and efficiency. the sooner you can ship, the sooner it's in the buyer's hands, the sooner they're happy, and the sooner that you ship, the sooner that it's done, and you can move on to the next thing, whether that be sourcing, curating your next show, whatever it is. But you don't want to spend more time than not, because we know, like I just said, if we sell 260 items, I do that in 8 hours. It typically will probably take a little bit longer than that, than the 8 hours. But even if you're selling 20 items, you don't want those 20 items to take you 4 hours. You'd like that to get down to 2 hours. So think about your organization. Think about how you can really set that up to be successful.
And while he's talking about this, please know that if you are not where we are right now, please know we are saying all this to help you have goals for yourself. For those that do want to do this long term, not everybody needs to get to this point where you have a space like this dedicated. But I love someone just mentioned what their next goal was and that they're going to start pushing themselves to the next goal. So just think of small baby steps. You don't have to go out and buy everything supplies wise. Start small. Make sure you love what you do and that whatnot's a good fit for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. We talk about it all the time. Business, you have to, this may be fun on a side thing for you, but this is a business. Think like a business owner. And the most successful business owners always have goals. So think about what your goals is my show this week, this tonight, whatever it is it to have 5 new buyers? Is it to sell 20 items? Is it to stay live for 2 hours? Think about your goals, set it, make them attainable. Don't say, I'm going to have my first show and I want to sell 3,000 items. That's obviously not going to happen. So set attainable goals, because that's going to help boost your confidence, and as well help you learn and go, okay, I did that. Now I can push myself. I almost went into a motivational thing there, but I'll say it real quick. I don't know if you guys ever heard about the 7 minute mile. The 7 minute mile was absolutely unattainable. Nobody could do it. One guy set a goal to do it. He worked on it, worked on it, worked on it for years. He finally broke it, had never been broken in the hundreds of years of being timed. 2 weeks later, somebody broke his 7 minute mile. It's setting goals. And when you see someone else accomplish, or you see yourself accomplish, you know you can break it. So just be focused. So I know that's a little off topic, but
Just a heads up, we do use USPS pickups, but because of the amount of items we're doing, we do limit so that our mail. We have the most awesome mail lady ever. She's super sweet and understanding, and goes out of her way to help us. So treat your mail carriers properly, and they will respect you just back. I know not everybody has that experience, but I'm very thankful for that. So that being said, we do small pickups. They probably pick up maybe 50 items or less, and Jacob will deliver the rest himself. He still makes regular trips.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go into that
Yes.
more too as well. So we're going little by little, guys. If you look at the show notes, it'll tell you the flow, so you can really stay in tune with it. So that's number one, guys. Setting up your shipping station, being organized. I'm also gonna try to go through this. I'm gonna take my time, but I'm also gonna go kind of quick, because
Thank you, Elise.
But oh, thank you so much. So I don't want this to be a 7 hour show. So I'm going to try to go through it a little bit quicker. And then at the end, we're going to go through all the questions, guys. So number 2, packaging tips, how to protect fragile items. So fragile items is the backbone of vintage antique, guys. We totally get it. We understand. So there's a lot that you can do to help protect. This is a lid off of an amazing set that we just got for Ashley. But you want to use, I'm going to pull some bubble wrap, guys.
I have you zoomed out a bit, so it's giving you a good angle.
I'm not afraid to use bubble wrap. So what you want to do is you want to really wrap this thing up. And I believe in the more the better. Don't be afraid. You obviously want to be able to save as much money as possible, but more bubble wrap is better than less bubble wrap. And you want to be able to have this thing in there where you can barely feel or not feel the item at all. You want that bubble wrap to be able to absorb. I want you to remember, USPS is great. I know everyone complains about them, but on average, they're delivering boxes on the other side of the country within 2 to 3 days. There's obviously things that go wrong, but they're handling millions and millions of packages daily. So there's a lot, though, that goes broken. I always say you got to be prepared, like they're going to play soccer with your package. So just be prepared. More is better than less.
So you don't wrap with paper first?
If it's hollow, are very, very fragile, are antique style items. Like this would be full because it's a canister. I would fill this with paper and then have one ring of paper around it on there because you want to be able to fill that void in there, aka the void fill paper that we use. This is the best that I've been able to have there. So I would use it for that instance. But if I'm just doing a lid that barely, this only has a hollow cove in it. There's not a huge deep pocket in there. I'm gonna only use bubble wrap. I also use saran wrap. I know a lot of you guys do. And once again, guys, all this is in our Instagram bio, all the items that I use on a daily basis for shipping. So if you guys have ever got a package from me, you might think it's from the cartel.
So what are you using? What's that roll?
That's saran wrap or whatever wrap. Saran wrap I know is a shrink wrap is the real name for it. Saran wrap's the
but you didn't always use that, right?
No, I used to use tape. I can tell you I hate tape now that I started using it. One, tape will slow you down, and tape is harder for the buyer to open up unless you use a masking tape, which I don't know. To me, this just looks better. So this now is a perfect little package. So this literally, I could throw this on the ground and it probably would stay safe. I'm not going to risk it. I don't have that much confidence in it.
How often do we have broken items in transit?
Broken items are going to happen, guys. Don't hang your head up on that. We're going to go.
That was my question.
Yeah, but then we're going to go into a little bit more of that as well.
That's good.
But I will say this past month, we've shipped over 1,000, well, more than 1,000. I mean, thousands of items, and we've had 5 items break in it, and one of them was not even fragile. It just was a chain purse that came loose. So literally, it's very minimal if you're doing it the right way. And when it happens, learn from it, reach out to your buyer and say, hey, I'm so sorry, I saw this. We handle customer service. We're in the beta, so we get to talk directly to the buyer when they're putting a return in. But if not, you're going to get notified through Whatnot. So go reach out to that customer, even if especially if it's a first-time buyer. Like I said, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So if something breaks, the last thing you want to do is get frustrated, ignore them, block them, whatever. You want to say, hey, I'm so sorry. Can you let me know what happened so I can learn from it, grow from it? Because we're all human. We're going to make mistakes.
Everybody, I want to remind you, all the items that we are showing, all the basic supplies we have listed in our link in our bio. Yep, Cameron's saying it. In our Amazon bio is a link to our Amazon that has all of these items. This video is being recorded. If you're just joining us, we are going to post it on social media after the fact, no later than tomorrow. So please make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook. I will announce when we actually post it so you know where to find it. It probably will be on YouTube as well. So if you're missed part of it or can't stay the whole time, please know we'll have it for you.
Yeah, so when you do this, this is only part of the process now when you're protecting your fragile item. So the next thing you need to do is get it into a box. But you also, I'm just using a random box we have here. You need the item to fit in the box, but you need plenty of space. You need plenty of space around the item. This would really be ideal for something this size, this kind of box. But you want to really, and I'm going to show you guys. This is how
Yeah, let's wrap it.
So sorry about the noise if you don't like it. I'm not afraid. If you've received a package from us, you know it looks like the cartel wrapped a special present for you, and you have enough paper for your next order. So you want to create a nice bottom there for you of cushion. We all have a bottom. We sit on it. We're cushioned. Think about your package having the same thing. It should be like baby Jesus in the manger right there. You wrap it up like this one. I need more paper, actually. You looked at that and you said, that's a lot.
There's more room.
There's voids there. This is void fill. This now is really protected. I can close this, and here's the next test, guys. Before you tape it up, before anything else, shake it. Hold it tight and shake it. If you hear a rattle, that means you're in danger of breaking.
Can you show what that rattle is like? Can you remove some to show them?
So if I take some of this out, you hear that?
That's bad.
That's bad. That means your item is going to break. Just think about it that way. If you hear rattling, Your item is going to break if it's fragile.
The void fill paper, the brown paper is called void fill because it fills the void. It's from Amazon as well and linked in our Amazon. Link is in our Instagram bio. You're going to hear us say that a lot, but it's okay.
Yeah. So you want to make sure
Thanks,
once
Vintage.
it's in there, you want to do the shake test on there. So this right here would be a great package if that was the only thing. Obviously, this is a canister set. It would be a bigger box, everything like that. I did see someone ask if there's multiple items that are breakable. Do you recommend unbundling and breaking that order up? It all depends. If it's a lot of smaller breakable things, I'm going to put them together. But if it's something that I can control and I know I can fit enough paper around it, I can bubble wrap it and fit it into the right size box, I'll ship them together. But if you have 17 swung vases, even get more realistic. If you have like 4 swung vases you sold to someone, yeah, you probably want to split that up to have 4 different orders or 2 different orders if you can fit 2 of them comfortably, because it's not to see how much you can cram into one box. It's to see how you can get it safely to the customer the cheapest way possible.
So, if did you always use the brown paper?
I did not used to always use the brown paper. I used to use the paper from Walmart, the white rolls. I'm sure we've all seen it. They have in the packaging. But the brown void paper that I get, you get 1,500 sheets, which is 1,375 feet of void fill paper. You can get paper other places as well. I know a lot of people say you can call the post off or the newspaper. You can get the end rolls, things like that. I don't have time to go to these places. I don't have time to go hunt people down, things like that. So with the volume that we're doing, I'm everything has to be delivered. I have to have it quick. So that's why we get it from Amazon. It comes within 2 days.
I will say not everybody is to this level of using this style. Some people, I got a package the other day from Whatnot and there was Christmas wrapping paper in it. You can be resourceful. This is how House of Coop likes to pack. We do like our packaging to arrive nice and clean, and just really straight to the point to get to your items. But recycling and reusing can be also something if you're wanting to, pinch a penny here and there.
Tiki Hut, if it's a tube, I'm just using this for instance, the lid here, just to show how I package something. If I was doing that canister together, I would have to get a different box. So that if it's one order that are 2 items, then like if it's a canister set or if it's a um, two dishes, whatever, 2 plates, anything like that. Obviously, with Whatnot, it would have to go into one box. So I would have to find a different size box. I'm just showing this for an example. If you have multiple items under the one ticket, then it has to be in the same box. There's not a way to create a second label.
That's okay, Ivory. Jacob has that too.
Hannah, for a label printer, there are cheaper options as well if you can't afford the Rolo. There's plenty of them on Amazon as well, that you can find there for you. So, like Ashley said, with our
Thank you, Thrift 30. So appreciate you guys. Tips are not expected, but they are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. So as far as like tips to save on packaging, everything that and we reached out to Whatnot. We are allowed to share this, so we can share let you know that that link is you can go to our Instagram and follow that link to get it. That is what we have found to be the most affordable, the easiest to use as far as like the paper, the tape, the shrink wrap, everything like that. After doing this for 16 months, I'm not saying it's the best deal out there. There might be other people who have found it. This is what works best for us, the best pricing that we've been able to find. And the bubble wrap again is
We
AmericanBubbleBoy.com
said it.
there for you. So, like Ashley said, branding your packaging as well within that is very, very smart. So, a lot of you guys put stickers on the outside of your packages. You guys put thank you notes, everything like that. That is such a great idea and such a great thing. If you've ever purchased a first time package from House of Coop, then you know you receive a special welcome to the House of Coop card there with some more information about us. But I do think that's vital to have is so people get to know you and you can show that appreciation another way. And like Ashley said with the brown paper, that's just something with us. I'm very OCD on the appearance and of the look, and I really feel like when you open a package that has one solid color paper, it looks really good. I'm not here to talk down or talk bad about what anybody's doing. I would never use newspaper. I would say that one, because if you have fragile items and you don't have them wrapped, that the ink can transfer onto your items as well. I hate newspaper on my fingers getting an item. That it always, after I'm done with the box, my fingers are black. I have to go wash my hands. Anything I've touched, the item or anything like that, is now covered in that ink. That's the only thing. You can definitely use it. There's tons of successful users who use, or sellers, excuse me, who use it. You could definitely, that's just something I would never use, because I try to think about the whole experience of the buyer there as well.
So again, we're trying to give you some tips. We have used newspaper in the past. There was places that had we found, not gonna lie, outside of our favorite vintage market, we found a giant pack of newspapers in the dumpster that was just put in. We took that whole sucker home and used it. So use what you have to use until you're ready to upgrade. You don't have to make these changes tomorrow, but they're great tips, we think.
Absolutely. Guys, we're going to go into Whatnot shipping system. If you guys have sold on any other platforms, I want you to get it out of your mind right now. Don't think about the Bay. Don't think about any of these others, because Whatnot has a special deal with USPS. Whatnot will do, it's only up to 921 for the first pound, and then 1 to 5 pounds is the 921. So there's no difference in that. So if your buyers, if you set your weights for your items and they purchase 3 things and that total weight is only 4 pounds, they're only paying 921. They're only going to pay after that. After they reach the 5 pounds, there's going to be additional costs that continue to go up with the weights of it. It all depends on location from there on in. Whatnot has a smart bundling system. The smart bundling system does not take into account a very fragile item. It doesn't take into account these things. So we're going to go into some shipping profiles as well that you can set. But just remember, up to 1 pound is the max they're going to pay is 921. Obviously it starts, I think the minimum is like 0 to 1 ounces, and typically that's $4 to $5 just to get something shipped from Whatnot to anywhere, just because USPS charges. But at 1 pound it's 921, up to 5 pounds, which is, by the way, I want you also to start thinking in ounces. 5 pounds is 80 ounces, because when you're when you're putting it into Whatnot system, it asks for ounces. It doesn't ask for pound then ounces. So start counting in 16. So that 5 pounds is 80 ounces. Once you get to 81 ounces or 5 pounds, 1 ounces, then your costs are going to start to go up. So if you have, we always recommend for newer sellers to pre-weigh your items. So if you've pre-weighed them, always add additional. This is the number one thing you hear is, my item weighs 11 ounces, but with packaging and etc., what should I do? Always round up to the next thing. So if it's 8 to 11 ounces is what that category would be. Say this is a vase right here, and this is 11 ounces on the scale. I'm going to round this up to a pound, because I'm going to have bubble wrap. I'm going to have paper.
Why don't we measure something? Hold on 1 second. Let's measure something just to see what some different weights would be.
Like this is 1 pound, 10 ounces. This without the lid. So we're just pretending, like, say this is a complete thing. So 1 pound, 10 ounces. I'm going to round this up to 2 to 3 pounds, or 2 pounds. Yeah, I think the only option is 2 to 3 pounds at this time, because with packaging and with it, you're going to switch it. You can switch it to pounds, but you can't do pounds and ounces. So you can only do one or the other. I definitely have switched it to pounds before as well, but I'm just talking about the standard system without going too crazy into it. So with this weighing 1 pound, 10 ounces, after the paper, like I showed you, after you have the weight of the box, you have everything, it's going to be 2 to 3 pounds. So that would be an example there for you on there. So sorry, real quick, let me get back there. So you're going to want your items to be weighed correctly beforehand, and that's going to help set you up for success. So your labels, everyone wants to know the different labels. So I grade out, if you see, this is 11 ounces there. So this is a ground advantage label. So this right here would need to be on a brown box.
So hold on.
Yep.
Let me hold it.
Yep, you can hold it there and show it.
So say it again.
Ground advantage. Ground equals brown. Somebody put it in there as well. Ground advantage.
Put them inside. We're gonna put the dog inside real quick. Oh, I can see. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Torres, thank you so much for the raid, guys. Thank you for the tips. Just please know we appreciate it, but we're just trying to stay focused.
So ground advantage equals brown. You can use any brown box you want. Most of the time, if it's 11 ounces, I'm using a box like this. This is a 6x6x6 box. I get these at Walmart. We're going to go into the boxes later, like what you can get, but it has to be ground. Now, you also have to measure the size of the box if it's over a 12 by 12 by 12. But a lot of people get confused by that 12 by 12 by 12 and think I can only use a 12 by 12 by 12 box. No, the 12 by 12 by 12 is 1728. Sorry, dog almost took me out. That was Final Destination style right there. That light came right for me. The 12 by 12 by 12 is a cubic inches right there. So that is 1728 cubic inches that you have. This box right here from Amazon, I measured this earlier. This is 18 and a half by 14 by 5.5, I believe it was. This is like 1683. So this fits underneath the 12 by 12 by 12. So this would work for your 12 by 12 by 12. You would not pay extra based off the size of the box. Now, if you're shipping a printer tray, if you're shipping artwork, things like that, it's going to be higher than that. And we're going to go into custom shipping profiles. But if you just did it off weight and the box is bigger, then there will be additional charges that are going to come to you as the seller. That's not going to get transferred to the buyer. I know that's the common question as well, is if the weight's off on the back end, I weigh it off, does that charge go to me, the seller, or to the buyer? Whatnot will never go after the buyer for shipping. You are the business, you are the business owner. You have to make sure that you're weighing and setting things up correctly, and you are responsible there for that overage on there.
We have a golden doodle.
A golden doodle, yeah. The cubic, if you do 12 times 12 times 12, I believe it's 1728. I might be misquoting that, but just do the math, the 12 by 12 by 12, and that will give you the total cubic inches. So that's the deal from Whatnot with USPS. So setting sun, that's a good question as far as changing the box size. That's something I've reached out and talked to Whatnot about as well. If it's under the 12 by 12 by 12, you can change it. I'll be honest, we do not change it if it's under the 12 by 12 by 12. If it fits, I leave it there. Whatnot has really been indifferent on that answer. With it, you can always change it to be the best way possible. But as long as you're under that, then you are meeting the guidelines. There are no overages. There are no penalties for that package if it stays with underneath that 12 by 12 by 12. So it's 1728 total cubic inches there. Now, if it gets over the 16 ounces, which is 1 pound to 5 pounds, it's automatically going to go priority. So you do not have to change anything on your end. You can use, this is a standard priority label. I'm going to have Ashley hold it up there so you can see. And in the corner is the weight there. This one was 1 pound, 7 ounces. So that one right there would be priority. So a priority label can either be on a brown box, any brown box you want, it doesn't matter, or on a standard USPS priority box. It cannot, I repeat, a priority label cannot go onto a flat rate box. I'm knocking myself out of boxes. A priority label cannot go on a flat rate box. I will show that in a second. These are different boxes that you can get from USPS. This is a 7 by 7 by 6. This is called a small mailing box. If you've got a package from Houseofcoop, we use these all the time as well, especially for our mini shows, things like these. These are great. These are free, guys. They will deliver them right to your front door. This is a large shipping box from USPS. This is 12 by 12 by 8. So you could see the total difference there.
How do they order these boxes
I'm going to go into that later, more about the boxes, guys, how to order them, everything like that. I'm just saying a priority mail label can go on this. As long as it doesn't say flat rate right there, you can use any priority box if the label prints out priority. So if you see that P there, you can use any white box that you want to when you're shipping. It's free. I use these more than any other box because they're free. I want them to work. Flat rate boxes have to have a flat rate label and they have to match what it is. So this right here, Ashley's going to show, that says medium flat rate. When you go into it, and I'm going to show you guys how to get there, that's a medium flat rate top load is what that's called. That is this box right here. Do you want to show them?
You said over 1 pound is automatically changed to priority?
Yes, 1 to 5 pounds from Whatnot is automatically priority. You do not have to do anything on your end. It's automatically set up that way through Whatnot. This is a medium flat rate box. I'm going to show you guys an amazing trick as well for shipping is on the back end. If you're in priority already, that 1 to 5 pounds, or even if you're over it, you can switch anything to a flat rate box as long as you change it there, and it Whatnot will only charge still the 921. There is no fee, there's no adjustment fee, there's no penalty for you. You can use these flat rate label boxes. Obviously, you want to be smart with what you're putting in there. I'm never going to put a 16-inch swung vase and try to fit it into a flat rate box. It's not going to fit. I'm not going to fit a container that if I squeeze it, that I can feel the item. But if you have smaller items that work for this, we once again, we do a lot of minis, we do a lot of brass pieces, things like that that fit. So this is a medium flat rate. And then the last flat rate here is the large flat rate. So the box size for a large flat rate is 12 by 12 by 5.5. So this doesn't have tons of depth to it, but you can see right there, this is 5.5 inches. But if you have like a brass frame that's maybe 8 inches round, you have something like that that's going to weigh a little bit more. Large flat rates are going to be amazing. And flat rates, yes, it's up to 70 pounds for a flat rate. If you're shipping something that's 70 pounds on Whatnot, Godspeed to you. I don't know anyone that could fit something that's 70 pounds and fit into one of these boxes. But if you can do it, you're selling car parts.
You want to talk about wrapping brown paper on a priority box?
Yeah, guys, let's be smart here. You cannot misuse USPS packages. There's no reason to be wrapping these flat rate boxes.
I want to say, if you've done it before, like you said, you're in a pickle, you're in a pinch, something crazy happened. This is no judgment. We're just all talking as friends here. So just take it with everything with a grain of salt, all right?
Yeah, we're just here to try to give the best advice that's helped House of Coop be successful. But please, guys, there is a penalty when you order boxes from USPS. It can be a crime if they want to come against you for it. I've never seen someone actually get charged with anything. I'm just reading what they say on their little thing.
It's okay.
You have to acknowledge it. But we've all done things that messed up. I talk about it all the time. When we first started, I put a Mary Mushroom canister set just inside of each other and thought it was going to get shipped there perfectly fine. Of course, it showed up in pieces when the person got it. Of course it did, because it was a piss poor performance on that shipping. But do not wrap these boxes. Here's what will happen. Nothing will happen to you up front as the seller. Nothing may even happen to you on the back end. You might get away with it. But if they open it up and they see that it's a flat rate box, USPS is going to require postage due at delivery. So when your buyer, say I order something from Joe Schmo, and Joe Schmo wrapped it in brown paper or wrapped it in a poly mailer, whatever it may be, and then the USPS, by the way, guys, these box sizes are pretty standard. They know what they're looking for. So even in your paper, it's clear to see what the box is. There's not many other places that use these standard boxes.
Can you clarify the large flat rate size?
Large flat rate, it says it right here, is 12 by 11.75 by 5.5. So really 12 by 12 by 5.5. But if they open it up and they see that's a flat rate, what's going to happen is when I receive this package from Joe Schmo, the mail carrier is going to have a note that says postage due. Flat rate boxes within Whatnot cost $9.21. A large flat rate box, the last time I went to the post office, was like $24, $22, somewhere in that range. What do you think USPS is going to charge at delivery? They don't know the special deal that Whatnot has with it. So they are going to charge me the difference of what's already been paid. So they're going to see that $9.21 was paid, but there should be an additional $12, $14, $20, whatever it is. They're going to require that at delivery. So me as the buyer, when it comes to my door, I can refuse this. They're going to send it back to the seller. Seller's going to have to tell Whatnot what they did, or I can pay for it and Whatnot will refund me. I'll just have to give a receipt. Either way, guys, as a buyer, you can tell that's going to be frustrating. That's going to be an experience you don't want to have. So it's doing it the right way. The last thing when it comes to abusing USPS practices is they have the padded flat rate envelope.
Yes, Rustic. We're gonna get to that.
I have some, guys. I ordered these. I've never used them, but these are what people like to use as bubble wrap. Let me tell you.
Yeah, one other thing, if you do buy something from the shop and then you can see the whole show in your receipt. So if you purchase something, there's always a video receipt and you will have access to this whole video if that's what you'd like to do. We should have set, do we have enough in there? I hope so. That is a great idea.
There's a bunch of stuff in
yeah, there's plenty of stuff in the shop. Our shirts too.
So these flat rate envelopes, guys, people use this as bubble or as void fill into the in their boxes. It literally says on USPS site you cannot use a new one of these. That is misuse of their product. I know people will say, "Well, I'm using a used one." Let me go into the first part of what we talked about, guys. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. We all understand we're trying to be as frugal as possible with our business, to be as profitable as possible. We understand it. We get it. But I truly believe, and we believe, that when you try to be the most professional, have the best looking package, it's going to help bring people back as well. So I would never use these. If you go on Reddit, you go on Facebook, you go on anything, every time somebody gets one of these, they're going to dog you. And I'm telling you, a lot of the times they don't say the seller's name, but I will tell you it's probably going to come soon. We're going to start seeing sellers' names outed. Obviously, those groups are toxic anyways, but you don't want your name attached to anything negative. I would
So
never
don't use these in your packages?
I would not use these as filler for your packages. If you're using these to ship in the right way, it's a priority. Say you sold some cards or something, it's all priority. Absolutely. Use this like it's intended. It's a bubble mailer. You can seal this baby shut, put the label on there, and let USPS handle it.
So can you confirm? So flat rate labels can't be used with priority boxes?
No, flat rate labels, guys. If it's a medium flat rate, it has to be in a medium flat rate box. If it's a large flat rate, has to be in a large flat rate box. If you do different, you may get lucky, because especially if you're doing, like when we drop off at the post office, it's 100+ boxes. I literally put them into a big cart, 2 carts normally, and wheel them into the back. They scan them after I leave. So it's not even anything where I can watch them or they're going to do anything. They're going to scan it and it's going to hit the system, and they're either going to send a report to whatnot for an overage, or they're going to charge the buyer when they get it delivered.
What about someone taping 2 priority boxes together to fit something?
So I have heard you cannot change a flat rate box. So flat rate box cannot be adjusted. I've received packages, and I believe you can, as long as it stays within the weight. So a lot of the times it's called Frankenstein boxes that you'll see them tape together and do things. You can absolutely do that as long as it's a regular priority box and it stays priority with the weight. Remember, if you change anything before you ship, before you do your final delivery or label, excuse me, you want to weigh the box, because any changes you do are going to affect the weight of the box. So you really want to make sure that you're not going over, because you may have allotted for 2 to 3 pounds, like we just showed with that last item. But if I have to adjust the boxes, if I have to put more paper around it, it might weigh, let's say 6 pounds when it's all said and done. I know that's drastic, but sometimes it can change, especially boxes, guys. Boxes aren't 3 ounces. They're typically at least 8 to 11 ounces. Some boxes are 15 ounces a pound themselves. So if you're adding boxes and adding a bunch of paper, reweigh it to make sure, because you may be Frankenstein in the box and you may not even be able to use it once the weight happens.
So someone said, I am confused. If an item doesn't fit into these boxes, can I use my own? And the label denotes how it is to me to be mailed.
Yeah. So if you these, we just said, once again, these are just free boxes. You can
use any box.
So like this is a box I get from Walmart as well. This is a 12 by 8 by 10. So this right here, if I have a larger item that maybe, like, this is the side of it, so you can see if there's a more awkward shaped item that won't fit into one of these boxes, absolutely. Remember, a priority or a ground advantage can be in a brown box. It's just flat rate labels have to be in a flat rate box. I'm just showing you guys how to be frugal with your money when you're shipping. Boxes are one of the biggest costs that there is, but there's other boxes that happen. Now, someone I'm not going to go all the way into it, but
Yeah.
you also have bigger boxes, guys. You just have to adjust the size. I would recommend if you're doing art and all that, do not Frankenstein boxes all the time. Once again, time is money.
Real quick, so you can use brown boxes all the time if that's what you decide to do.
Yeah, you can absolutely. If you just want to use brown boxes and never use a priority box, anything like that, Godspeed to you. You can do all that. We used to, when we first started, we got some free boxes from the post office, but a lot of our boxes were actually our coworkers, our friends, everything gave us all their old Amazon boxes, which I will still reuse boxes.
And priority can go into a brown box.
Priority can go into a brown box, and a ground advantage box can go to as big a box as you want. You just have to do the adjusted size on the back end to whatever it is. So, like for artwork, guys, I would recommend you can, like we just said, you can buy boxes from. Excuse me, you can ask your neighbors, things like that, get free Amazon boxes.
We'll talk about this box.
Now,
give us a second. Typical boxes, we go Walmart.
Yeah, typical boxes, we go to Walmart.
For brown boxes.
For the brown boxes, I'll show you the number one size box that I use is right here. Mountain Fable actually just.
And you can screenshot it.
This is a 15 by 12 by 10 from Walmart. So typically, this is technically just showing the size. This is how big the box is then. This is over the size from whatnot, from the measurements. I believe this goes to like 1900 and change if you multiply the 15 by 12 by 8. But it's typically only about $2 extra. So on the back end for me to pay. So if I use this box, I know it's going to be about $2 extra for me on each package. But typically, if I'm using this, they bought a lot, or they bought something that's worth really valuable, that's big enough to necessitate this. It's not like they're spending $5 and I have to use this.
So we talked about those two types, but let's talk about boxes for items that are large.
So items that are large, you can Frankenbox. You can do that. I'm going to go on that in a second. But
real quick, Frankenbox means when you can cut and manipulate boxes to fit around an item. People do that all day, every day. But let's tell you what we do.
And I see people saying several have told me this, several have told you this. This is House of Coop. This is what we do. You can listen, you can take it, the advice, you can do whatever you want. This is just what we do on a daily basis. Changing the box size once you go over that 12 by 12 by 12 can absolutely jump up quite a bit, or it can be small. It's really about how far the box is traveling, because it's how much space and how long it's going to take up time with USPS. So if you're shipping, we live in Florida, and when I have to ship something to California that weighs a lot, or if it's a big size, yeah, it can cost me quite a bit. So you really have to think about, making sure your weights are correct, things like that. I would recommend, if you're shipping artwork consistently, things like that, is getting pre-made boxes. We have a local packaging store. You can also find places online, but we have a packaging store. I can get this box is a 24 by 5 by 8. So I will use this box a lot for our needle points, things like that are bigger than
artwork,
crewels, needle points, mini trays, things like that. And these are absolutely great. This box cost me about $2 to $3 on average, depending on how many I purchase at a time.
Where do we get it again?
There's a local packaging store. You can also find places online. There's Uline, there's Zorro, I think is.
So Google your local packaging stores. Or obviously moving places get more expensive, but we walk into a place and they have almost every size box ever. Uline is pretty good. That is buying in bulk. And I know that there are shipping costs and things too. So just do your research and you can find which one works best for you.
Yeah, TV boxes work. You can get from Amazon. There's so many places, but I would recommend, instead of Frankenboxing items, which takes time. Once again, time is money, and we're all trying to save as much time as possible. Set yourself prepared. If you know I'm going to have an art show and I'm trying to sell 50 pieces of art, I can absolutely take a box like this, which is a huge Amazon box, and I can cut around it, and I can do every little thing to make it as small as possible and fit it for the customer. I've done this before. That's going to take me probably 20 to 30 minutes if I'm good at it, to really make it go quick. Or I can grab one of these boxes that's going to fit it, because I've already measured and I bought enough boxes, and it's going to take me 2 minutes to tape it up. Guys, that 30 minutes, 20 minutes is going to save you so much money and so much time to really be smarter on there. I see somebody asking real quick about the pool noodles.
That's what I'm gonna say here. Like if you were wrapping this.
If I'm wrapping this, I'm going to put a bunch of paper around this because this is really fragile. So I'm gonna ball like it's gonna be a ball of paper around it. And then I'm going to once again, if I in the beginning, if you saw how I packaged the one item, if it is really fragile, like these are fragile, I'm going to put paper around it, and then I'm going to bubble wrap the heck out of this thing. I don't use pool noodles because I use so much bubble wrap that there can be no damage to it. But if you are not using a bunch of bubble wrap, then absolutely you can use pool noodles. Those are absolutely great. I see a lot of people save, like if you buy something in big boxes, they have those cardboard corners that really solidify the corner of the boxes. People save those. Those are excellent to use as well.
So yes, this is going to be on Vintage Wars, guys, and Drama Queen, you're hilarious. Listen, you can still use pool noodles if that's what you prefer. During summertime, Dollar Tree or Dollar General typically has all the pool noodles outside. It can be hard to find pool noodles when it's not summer. So if you're a pool noodle lover, run to your Dollar General. They're always outside. I used to be an event planner, and I always had trouble finding those.
Mattress toppers, foam, anything like that, guys, is really great. Anything you can get your hands on that looks good on there. I saw someone said they've used diapers before. Once again, I would never do that. I've heard people use them. Be as frugal as possible. So something like this, because there's actually no.
What if pretend it was a mirror?
So if this was a mirror, I am using the heck out of the paper, the void fill paper in here, and then I'm going to wrap it with paper and hold that flat. Like I'm going to literally hold it like this. Or I'm going to hold it, use my belly, guys. We have bellies. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to wrap it as tight as I can with bubble wrap to really make it there. There.
All right, give me 1 second. All I read was adult diapers, and I'm swiping back to see.
Yeah, someone said they've used them before, and I've heard other people mention it. I honestly, guys, it comes to me like I think about it as a business overall, and never a second chance for first impression. I've received stuff in lady boxes and things like that. I understand you got to be resourceful.
I just want to say too, let's all be kind. House of Coop is kind first, and sharing you tips second. So everybody has their own ways of doing things. So this is a judge-free zone. All right, judge-free zone.
Yeah. Once again, it's whatever you use, guys. This is just what you do. This box size.
Yes, we are about
work. This is a 24 by 5 by 18.
So you can screenshot it if you want. 24 by 5 by 18. You can screenshot it. Obviously, we're going to have this recording for you, but go to a local, what is it called? Packing place or Uline, or obviously your neighbors. We have a local community Facebook page. All we did was post on there. We didn't tell people what we did, but we said, hey, our job really requires a lot of boxes. We had 10 different neighbors say, hey, I have boxes all the time. And they would leave it at their front door or ours. And then Jacob and I's jobs had a lot of boxes, but now that we do this full time, we don't have access to that. So Dollar General also told us before, Dollar Tree, excuse me, says that we could go in anytime and get free boxes back when we needed those. So ask your local stores, grocery stores.
Yeah, and I kind of mixed in a few things, guys. We're doing the bullet points. Number 4 is how to weigh and measure accurately. And a lot of people ask, do you need to change the box size? You absolutely need to change the box size if it's over 12 by 12 by 12. Because what can happen, guys, this is the thing you guys don't think about. You may get away with it on the front end, but the only thing that can happen is on the back end, it's going to negatively affect your buyer. Because if it gets to, say I order from Joe Schmo, and he put in it's 12 by 12 by 12, but the box says 30 by 12 by 16, that's a huge box. And if USPS measures it and says there's not enough postage, that is going to be demanded by me at delivery of my door for that box size. Now, it's not going to be Whatnot. Remember, Whatnot has discounted rates for every size, every weight, everything like that is still discounted. So if you get away with it on the front end, your buyer is going to be responsible for more on their end because it's going to revert to USPS standard prices. So what may cost you $30 up front may charge them $100 at delivery because that's the difference in cost there. So do it right. You have two options when you're doing something. You can do it right and you know you're going to be confident in the way it goes, or you can do it wrong and you're crossing your fingers and you're hoping something doesn't happen on the back end.
How does a customer get charged
So
after it's sent?
So if USPS, if you weigh incorrectly or you measure the box incorrectly or anything like that, and it gets to the buyer or it passes through USPS and they detect that there's a difference of cost needed, when they deliver it, they're going to come to the door and there's pink slips that they have. I'm sure you've seen pictures, and it's going to say delivery 626 to House of Coop. You owe $16.20 because your package they didn't have the right measurements or weight on the package, and that will come to me, and I'm going to have to pay them. It has to be in cash, by the way. You cannot pay them. You can't pay them with a credit card at the door, as much as I believe. So it has to be exact change. If not, you have to go to the post office and pick up the package by the next day, whatever it is. It's a hassle. Nobody wants to do it. So just do it right up front.
So you only have to change measurements if it's over that 1728?
I would only do it if it's, I only do it, should I say, if it's over the 1728. I've talked with Whatnot as well. They were kind of wishy washy on it. If you want to change below it, you can. But you're not, there's no penalty if you're going under the box size on there. So I do not change it because there's no penalty. If there was anything that could be a penalty to my buyer, I'm going to change it so it doesn't affect them.
What if you have multiple items in a big box? Does the size increase? Like if you bundled?
Well,
No.
if you're bundling correctly, so here's another common misconception. If you're weighing your items correctly and they're heavy and you're getting these bigger items that are heavy and heavier, if you don't have max shipping, which we're going to go into a little bit as well.
Sorry. Thank you, Cozy Nook, for the raid. We see you guys. We appreciate you.
But if you're weighing correctly and your items, they're automatically, you're going to be able to see that you can change the box size because they've paid for all of that, because part of the weight is the size of the box that Whatnot factors in over the 5 pounds as well. So if you're doing it correctly and you're weighing your items, say they bought 3 items that are let's say 3 to 4 pounds, that's going to be 12 pounds total, but that's also going to grow more than that 1728. So you can do that, or that may be a time that you can look at unbundling because they paid enough in shipping that you're going to be able to unbundle an item and say, this needs to go in one box and these two can go in another box. And that's not going to charge me any extra if they paid already for that shipping on there. So you're not limited to just that 12 by 12 by 12 if you're using the correct weights as you go.
I do want to say as well, as we go through these items, please know that we've grown tremendously over time from learning how to be better. So this is never about making you feel like you've done something wrong. And I'm just going to say, Melby, you're awesome. You're super, super awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody has baby steps of what they learn and how they decide to do things. And what works best for you is the most important. But if you decide to do the same thing, great. If y'all learn how to do something different, great. There's no shame in the game. You're in charge of your shop, your business, and all those good things. So we love everyone here.
If you put flat rate priority box and it prints priority mail label, it's going to say priority mail on it still, even if it's a flat rate on there. Like this one says medium flat rate, it's still priority. So flat rate is still priority, but it has to be, this word right here has to be the correct box. So that would have to be.
Can we show how to change a box size?
Yeah, I'm going to show that here in a minute. So this will be a medium flat rate. Has to be.
It's upside down.
Excuse me. It has to be in this medium flat rate box with that medium flat rate label. I've heard people I talk to my post office. They say you can put a priority label on there. Guys, you can do anything you want to, but just remember, you want to do the right thing and you want to make sure that your buyer's not going to receive anything on the back end. I would watch Whatnot's things. Also, when you're using a flat rate box, in the top right corner of the shipping, it literally says, if using a flat rate label, please make sure you have Whatnot flat rate selected, like the correct box in there. The local people at the post office don't know Whatnot. They don't know the deal with Whatnot. If you ask them, I heard that I can use this box for $9.21. they're going to look at you like you're crazy because the medium flat rate last I checked was like $17, $18. They're going to say, absolutely not. There's a special deal with Whatnot. Don't go to your postal people asking them for tips on Whatnot because they're not going to know unless they happen to be a seller themselves, which is very rare.
Someone said they have all priority boxes and she pre-ordered for her first show.
Yeah, if you have flat rate or priority boxes, yeah, absolutely, you can use those. If it's under 1 pound, you're going to need a brown box for ground advantage. Or, guys, when we do linen shows as well, there's other things you can use as well. These are bubble mailers.
No silver plated. You can go right to your USPS and they have boxes available and you can order them online on their website.
When you drop off, some post offices, depending, we've been, when we do these estate sales and that, I've been to the smallest post office in the world. If you go in there and you say, I have 100 packages, what's the procedure? They're going to walk you through with what they want. So the first time you go in, you may have to sit in line for a bit, but typically they're going to make a way that can be done expeditiously for you and for them, as far as how to drop things off. So literally one post office, they said, just put in the back, here's the scanner, scan each item in, knock on the door, and we'll take everything for you, because I was loaded into big carts. So each post office is a little bit different. Go in there, talk with them. They're going to want you to know. If you're nice to them, they're going to be nice to you. So there's also different things. So if you're selling like small earrings, things like these are bubble mailers. There's so many different sizes of them. You'll see what's inside of them is actually bubble wrap. I don't know where you can see, sorry. It's actually bubble wrap in there for you. So you can.
Where did you get these? Is this Amazon?
Yeah, these are all from Amazon.
Keep going.
This is a poly mailer. So these are different poly mailers that you can use. These are just like plastic. So these are good for linens, shirts, things like this. So they have some stretch to them. But these can be used with whatever label, except like priority or ground label can be used on those too.
Do not feel bad for bringing a ton of packages to drop off, because first of all, it's way better than them having to pick them up at your house. You're helping them out a ton, and we're helping keep all their jobs and things and boosting them up. So more work is better than no work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
we're done with these.
Yeah, we can put those. So I went over the weights. Really, I did a bunch within there. So we weighing your items, dimensions to matter. If you're over the 12 by 12 by 12, you want to make sure you're doing it right, because you want to avoid the costly mistakes on there, guys. For the
no, you should not wrap your priority boxes.
No, absolutely do not wrap your priority boxes, guys. You can wrap, excuse me, if you're using a standard priority box and you want to wrap it, you can. There's not going to be an overage or penalty. I don't know why you would, because you're just wasting time. But if you really want it to look super pretty and that's your thing, totally get it. That's a smart thing that we talked about, having the appearance of it. You can wrap them. But if you are wrapping a flat rate box to try to get by their system, putting it into a poly mailer or wrapping it in a brown paper because you just want to use the free box, but you don't want to select flat rate, then you're doing it wrong and you're doing a disservice, and you could potentially have an overage at that point that the buyer would have to pay. So don't do it in that sense. But if you want to wrap, you can wrap any brown box. You can wrap. We've got one before that was wrapped in Christmas gift wrap, and that was a really cute idea. It was still labeled correctly.
Before the next thing, do we have USPS scan Whatnot's scan sheet?
I don't use the scan sheets because you have to do everything at once and you have to print it that day. Also, we don't have a normal printer, so I would literally have to use it on the smallest piece of paper in the world, the 4x6 label, and it would print out wrong. Our post office, like I said, we're very fortunate for the one we have. Our postal lady, when she picks up, she will scan anywhere from 50 to 60 packages at a time. No problem. I've talked with her many times. I help her take the boxes to her car. Very, very sweet lady. She has no problem with how we do it. And when I take it to the post office, they give me the big orange buggies, and I have a special door that I take them to, and they scan them all in the back. I've never had an issue, but you want to make sure that they get scanned. Don't just drop them off somewhere and expect them to get scanned. Make sure you talk with them. Make sure you let them know the difference there. If you're dropping off only like 4 to 5 packages at a time, I would go to the front counter, have them scan them, and give you a receipt there.
Yes, you can use priority boxes to ship. You just have to utilize it the correct way. we will be talking about how to set your settings for things as small as PWE all the way to larger boxes. We will go into settings. So stay tuned for how to adjust that for your shows.
Yeah, so a lot of this I went over with that, so I'm gonna kind of like skim through a lot of these points here.
And reusing boxes.
Yeah, guys, reusing boxes, absolutely. I reuse when you guys send us packages, things like this right here. Somebody shipped in. I don't even know what size this is, but you can tell. Oh, there's a label there. I don't
You
want
just have to make sure you cover the past labels.
Yeah, I'll rip off the label on there, but I will definitely reuse boxes if they're good condition. If the box has been reused, you can tell like 6 times and it's at that point, then don't reuse it. You know what I mean? If you're afraid that it'll fall apart or if water will destroy it, I would not use it. But it's just use your best judgment. There's nothing wrong with recycling. Guys, look, this is all paper that has came in packages the last couple days. I'm not afraid to reuse paper as long as it's good as well. So I have a box over here that is literally just extra paper for me to use that's free. If you buy from Houseofcoop, you're going to have extra brown paper that you can reuse. That's a guarantee.
I will say, if you take a second to go check out our reviews, one of our #1 comments is about how we pack our items and how well and nicely it's packed. So these things do have an impact on buyers. Okay, so if you think about if you buy a brand new purse or makeup from Ulta, think about how you're getting those things from these big box stores. Obviously, small businesses, there's no comparison, and you have to be cautious of your money, but there are smart ways and cheaper ways to still give that great experience that make people want to keep coming back to you.
Yeah, so I'm going to swing around here real quick.
The TV went off?
Yeah, I have to use the phone. So, guys, I'm going to show you.
1 second. I got to zoom back in.
This is our show for tomorrow. So I'm going to go over, guys, the standard shipping here for you. So
Can I hold it?
Yeah, so this is our show tomorrow. So I'm going to go into more and I'm going to go into edit show. So this is going to bring up, I have our moderators, you have the name of it, the time, all that, your label. But what I want to go into here, guys, is the shipping settings. So I'm going to go to like a normal show, what it should be here for you. So give me 1 second. Buyer pays all shipping, save that. And give me 1 second. Don't pay attention to any of this real quick.
And don't show it.
It's fine. So here, guys, this is your blank canvas. This is like if you came set up from whatnot. So the first thing, guys, when you talk about the 1 to 5 pounds is priority mail. You want to have that selected, guys. Then you can use any box you want for that 1 to 5 pounds. Anything over 5 pounds, you want to go to ground advantage. This is the standard setup from whatnot. This is how all of your shipping should be. This has to be turned on if you want to use the 73-cent shipping that we talk about for the giveaways. So if you want to use that, screenshot this right now. This is what yours should look like if you're not doing reduced shipping or anything like that. This is the standard, except the first class mail letter has to be turned on if you want to unlock that 73-cent giveaway there. So I'll give you guys a second. Give us an emoji or something once you screenshot it, or if you understand that.
Drop emojis if you understand what's being shown on the screen. Yes, Bren, we are recording this right now. So follow us on social media. Click our show notes at the top of your screen. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be posting this whole video. You can also purchase something in the Buy It Now, which will allow you to have your purchase receipt and allow you to check out the whole show.
Okay, so everyone got that. So I'm going to go out of here real quick. So the next thing, guys, is going to be, no, go still on that show. So the next thing, guys, for the 73-cent giveaway, that's what everyone wants to know. So we're going to go into shop. We're going to go giveaway. And we're going to
go slower. You're going to go to giveaway, then the plus.
Then plus. We're just going to create a temporary listing for this one because I just want to show you where to go. It's fine. Create temporary. It doesn't matter because we're not going to actually go through with it. The category is what matters, guys. So it has to be stickers. You're going to click stickers.
And this is for what?
This is giveaway, 73-cent shipping giveaway.
73-cent shipping. You need to be under stickers.
So it has to be stickers. And then the shipping profile has to be 0 to 1 ounce right there. And then you'll save that. So 0 to 1 ounce. So once again, guys, sticker for the category, which you can search if you haven't used it before. and it has to be 0 to 1 ounces.
And what if it's a one-piece card? So it has to be able to fit in a flat envelope.
So you can use one-piece card as well, but Whatnot specifically added, you can show that again, just keep it there. Whatnot specifically added the sticker category to make it easier instead of going through the card. But if you use one-piece card, it will do the 73 shipping there as well. But you also have to remember this has to be able to fit, excuse me, into a standard envelope. So
which means it has to be flat.
So something like this would fit right in here, no problem, because these go through a machine that processes them like this. So it literally is going to scan it through and keep going, and that's how it goes. So if you have something that's too thick, it's going to break the machine, or it's going to break the item, or they're going to, when they're sorting through it before it gets to the machine, they're going to take it off the line and they're going to return it to you because postage is due. So it's literally like this. Now, when you print it, I didn't print one off, but it literally will print on this the same 4x6, and it'll just be sideways, and you'll just literally put it on right there. You don't have to put your own stamp on. You don't have to do anything. One thing also I want to let you guys know is you have to do all your shipping through Whatnot. There are some different countries that allow you to do other than Whatnot. You have to do it. You cannot send your buyer one of these and then ship through UPS to get away with it. You can't do anything like that. You have to ship through USPS. The other thing with these plain white envelopes are PWEs. You'll see them referenced as. These have no tracking. These have no tracking on them. So the buyer, there's no way for them to know when it's coming or anything like that. You send it out. It's going to get to the
snail mail, essentially.
but it is snail mail. There's not going to be labeled like, oh, picked up here, delivered here to the next station, like your typical mail would be.
A couple questions. Can you put a thank you card in that?
Yeah, you can put, as long as it's flat.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, as long as it's flat, guys, you can put anything in here.
Would you put a gift card in there?
I've done gift cards in here, yeah, because gift cards are like basically like a business card, so it will easily go in.
What's another way that we send gift cards?
You can do digital gift cards as well, guys. That's what we do. If we ever do gift cards, you can go to Amazon and do it digital, and you can just send the code. I always, as well, I print out the code on a piece of paper in case they don't check their messages. The code will be on a label, and I put it in the envelope and ship it to them as well.
You have to send something every time that there's a giveaway.
Anytime someone buys something or wins a giveaway, unless you have local pickup on, there has to be a shipment. So
you can't just put those free items in their order.
Well, if they have an order, then yeah, you can throw it in there. Yeah, because that would be in their label. Yeah, it'll already be in their box. So if they already ordered 3 things, then you don't have to do a separate thing.
Perfect.
It's going to go right into it. But if they only want a giveaway, or they only bought, like some of you guys bought playing cards tonight, you bought a single owl or a single sun playing card. Those literally are right here. If you bought a single rose playing card, this is how it's going to ship. I'm going to literally just put it in here, seal it, print the label, and it's going to you. That's how it gets delivered.
And the label goes...
The label will just go right on front.
Big, right on top.
Yeah, and the label has the return address on there. It has everything like a standard mailer would have.
It just will not have a tracking. So just remember that if someone messages you like, hey, where's my giveaway? It's snail mail at that point.
Yeah, it takes time, guys, to get it there. Sorry, I went to the wrong thing.
So there are people out there that are still paying for something and shipping for larger giveaways. Not everybody does small giveaways. It's okay to do larger giveaways. Okay. There are people, there's one time our giveaway was a uranium bowl way back. So giveaways aren't always in this format, but if you are trying to be smart with money, maybe, or you do a lot of giveaways, the 73 shipping is awesome.
So real quick, someone asked about the giveaway.
Come way closer.
Just let me know. So the giveaway, guys, if you want it to be a follower only, sorry, I'm trying to, it gets lost in the sauce there. But if you want it to be oh my word. If you want it to be a follower giveaway, you have to have the follower only selected on the giveaway. If you have everyone, they do not have to follow you. Some people want anyone to get it, and you don't necessarily have to follow them. But if you select that, they can enter your giveaway and it will not automatically be a follow. But if you select this, then that means that they will follow you.
They have to follow you to enter
the giveaway. Yes, thank you, baby. And then the buyer appreciation, if you want to do a buyer appreciation giveaway, this has to be selected before the purchases. So this is something you want to have loaded into your store before you start your show. Because if you enter this in at the end of your show or the middle of your show, only people who buy after that time you put it in are eligible to enter the buyer appreciation giveaway. So if you're planning on giving something away, like our last show, we gave away $100 buy appreciation giveaway. I had that loaded in at the beginning. So anyone from the very beginning of our show got to win that.
All righty then.
So yeah, we went over there. So real quick, guys, I want to say again, ship quick, because we all get paid when we ship. We don't make any money if we don't ship the items. You get, especially if you haven't hit 1,000 sales, you will get your money. You'll get your money after delivery. So the quicker you get it out, the quicker you're going to get paid. If you have the 1,000 sales and you're getting early payouts, still the quicker you ship out, the quicker you get paid on there. But also it builds a lot of trust, and it builds into your relationship with your buyers when they're receiving things. A lot of people tell us they receive our items faster than they do from Amazon. So you want to make sure that you're as quick as possible, because when people get their items fast, they're happy. It's a tangible thing. We're obviously online. We're just seeing something that's out there. So when we get in our hands, it's always a lot better.
Thank you, The Modern Eye, for that raid. We so appreciate you. We hope you had a fantastic show. We're doing Shipping 101. Check those show notes. A couple things that I saw on here. We will be getting into max shipping. We will talk about how we do max shipping and what life was like before and what life is like after. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So guys, once again, just be organized. Be organized when you're selling as well. So when you're selling, you want to be organized up front. So when it comes to shipping, you're easy to get your items. Don't have your sold inventory mixed in with your for sale inventory, because that's going to slow you down. You really want to make sure that you're prepared for the back end. Once again, if you take nothing else from this, is organization is key, and it's going to help you succeed more than anything else. So yeah, whatever.
We're going to go into settings. They want to know how to change shipping settings. Do you want to do it on the computer?
Yeah, let me.
All right, we are going to move over to the computer.
Because I'm going to have to, it's going to be someone's order.
Go ahead.
I have stuff blocked out. So.
Go ahead. I'll say hello for a second. Hi, I'm back here.
Oh, also real quick, if you want to show this, I can show
I don't want to show it. This is my time. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let me go back. I got to bring my chair over, baby. I need your muff. Okay. This is his show.
So
hold on. Let me zoom in for a second.
This is USPS, their website, guys. So this anyone has access to. I'm moving so you have more space too. So if you go to Quick Tools, you can buy free or you can get the free boxes, excuse me. So right here, Quick Tools, free boxes. This will take you to all the boxes that they have available. So you can see they have Tyvek envelopes, they have the padded flat rates, they have everything. Then here's your large flat rate boxes. They have medium flat rates. So they have pages of this. So this is how you get to everything for free. Okay. And then flip around real quick because I don't want anyone's address or anything.
Back to me. It's my turn. So in the garage, not only is it a packing station, it's also our prep zone. So if you've never seen this, all of this is when we purchase stuff. It comes out here. I do have a keep pile. But this is where we're able to take all the take all any tags off of it, clean it up, and things like that. That suitcase, though, yes. So the garage is for more than just shipping. Believe it or not, we use the whole thing, even for trash.
So
even for trash.
So real quick, just try to show.
I'm here.
Just try to show over here.
Over where? Okay. Over here?
Yeah, just this here. I forgot this is touchscreen, so it's a little. So guys, this here is an order. They bought just a shirt, but they
have to zoom in.
Just let me know when you're good.
Whoa. I guess.
Can you zoom out again just to normal?
Hold on. Well, this is normal.
So somebody bought.
Can you move that here?
I can't. I have to hold this because there's an address.
Can you move your mouse here? There we go.
So guys, This right here is someone's order. This is on the shipping screen. I can't show more than this because there's personal information, guys. But this is the right side of the screen when you come here. So with this, say this was 1 pound. I'm going to use this, guys, as if it's 1 pound. Don't pay attention to the weight right now. But if this is how we use flat rate boxes. So you're just going to click this edit shipping details right here. And if you had it at 1 pound, I can show right here, right now. This I could select flat rate boxes and I could use whatever is correct. So medium flat rate is here, large boxes, large flat rate. The top loading, guys, is that box that I showed you. So if you have it, if you have the side load, which is considered like a shoebox style, you would select this. And there is also a small box. I don't know where you would use that on Whatnot unless you were like a jewelry seller, but I've never had to use those. And I've never used any of the envelopes either. But you want to select it. So then if I do like medium box, this is going to technically have an adjustment because this is only set for 11 ounces. But if you had the weight correct and it was already paid the $9.21 in shipping, this label adjustment cost would be at zero. You would have no fee there. The only reason there's a fee is they want me to pay the 5 ounce difference from 11 ounces to 16 ounces.
All shipping is done through Whatnot. They have a contract with USPS, but you will never need to go to USPS site. It's all directly through your Whatnot.
Yeah, this is the shipping back end screen. So this is the very right of it. Yeah, you're good here. You're good here. So this is the full screen. This I'm just blocking out people who bought stuff. I don't want.
Can't even see. I can't go that.
Yeah, but this is just the shipping screen. This is the very right side where you're going to make any adjustments. Also, guys, you get free five free adjustments a week. We use ours pretty quick. I don't even pay attention to them, but that's I've already used ours. But those reset. I think Sunday nights at like 7 p.m. Eastern. Those reset every week. We get 5 free of them.
We recommend using a computer or iPad or tablet to be able to see these screens better than just shipping through your phone, because there's a lot of adjustments and things to see, so it always makes it easier.
So after the 5 free adjustments, that's a great question, Jackie. It's exactly this. Then I have to pay this. And people ask, where do you see that? You have a ledger as well with Whatnot, where it tells you how much you make on each thing, and you'll see deductions and it'll say shipping cost. That's part of your seller hub you can go to, and it says financial, and then there's ledger there, and you can see it there. But that's what would come up here would just be the shipping adjustment, and that's only for this one because it's set for 11 ounces. I'm going up there too. It's a flat rate. But say, guys, you weighed something wrong and you only had 8 to 11 ounces, but it weighed 14 ounces. So let me show you here, guys. Guess what? There's no difference, guys. I would weigh everything correctly, but I just want to let you guys know that under a pound, Whatnot does not have a difference there if you do an adjustment. You guys saw that. I had it set to 11 ounces. I went to 14 ounce. There is no difference. So always weigh it correctly when you go to ship, but you can do it there. Now, guys, if it weighs less, say I had this for 11 ounces and I put it on the scale and it only weighed 9 ounces, I'm not changing that because there's obviously enough that's already covered there. I don't need to go down on the weight. You're going to kill yourself in time if you're trying to have exact weight every single time. If you have it set for 3 pounds and you weigh and it weighs 2 pounds, 6 ounces, just ship it. You're going to be fine.
We highly recommend you using a computer, laptop, tablet, and not your phone. It's going to make your life so much better. So repeat after me: computer, laptop, or tablet for shipping your packages. It will make your life so much easier.
Yeah, a computer is a game changer, guys. The bigger the screen, the better, because you're going to have full access. Once again, this is a business. You want to run your business as properly as possible. So
I'm going to show you how big the screen is. You want to just, it doesn't really matter. But this is how much you see behind the scenes when shipments are happening. It shows you all the things all on this whole sheet. So it's very important.
And guys, if you don't know as well, this is a good to show. Whatnot just changed the seller hub to really have everything. So we have customer support. So you may not see this because we're in the beta, but your shipping, it will tell you how many packages you have due and what time. And if you come over this way, it'll tell you your on-time shipment rate, your fulfillment rate, policy standards. So if you violated anything, and you can also go to your account health, which is the next thing down here. and you can see the next thing down. And real quick, financials, guys, is where you can see your ledger, where you ask, where would I see if I paid an overage or anything? Your financials there will go into it. But your account health will show you your on-time shipment rate, your fulfillment rate. So if you have items canceled, everything like that.
I'm sorry, but look at that full green circle. We proud of that.
So guys, this way as well, I'm not going to click into this because I will have buyer's information. But if I click on this, any that I've had in the past that were shipped late or any that were unfulfilled that were later, those will all be listed and I can see everything. So this is your account health. This is your home page, two different ones. But Whatnot makes it really easy. And if you come to this page, guys, I want you to remember Whatnot really gives you keys to be successful before your show. Right here on your seller hub page, you don't have to go anywhere else. Right here, you have tutorials, guys. Guess what? They have shipping tutorials set up. Your shipping profiles, your shipping options, bundling, unbundling, edit shipments. They have videos. They may not be as elaborate as this, but they have videos that can get you educated to begin with, guys. So you really, really want to go through this. Your pre-show, like how to add listings, where to share your show at, show time, everything that it is, they have set up for you right here.
And I want to say, if you're struggling with shipping, all you have to do is put somebody that you love the most right next to where you ship. Look at that. Would you look at that? That's his motivation. He's so sweet. Okay, so let's go ahead. Can we talk about, you want to talk about shipping profiles or what?
No, I think I pretty much, we can open it up to questions now.
Okay, any questions? Was there anything else we could show on here?
Oh, no, nothing else really.
Max shipping tips. Let's talk about max shipping. Can you just, shoot. Can you move my seat for me, please, so I don't hurt the dog?
You're good.
I'm going to go back.
Okay, let me bring a chair over for you.
I'm going to go back. I like the Jacob's in the spotlight today. He's work, guys. I have to brag on my husband again. Especially if you're just joining us. Couple reminders, check the show notes. We will be posting this whole video if you're just joining us or you missed it. Jacob has single-handedly, Vintage Libra, thank you so much for that raid. He has done over 25,000 items, guys. We are premier sellers. We have over 5,000 five-star reviews. Everybody can do packing differently, okay? We're not the only successful ones on here, clearly, but we wanted to take the time because shipping is one of the top questions we get. So we will be taking your questions now. We also had questions on Instagram that we've answered a lot of them, but if there's anything that you want us to talk about, we will do that now. So let's talk about max shipping.
Yeah, guys. So we use max shipping because we are a volume-based seller. So I want to go into this. Max shipping is not for everyone. We've talked about it before. If we only sold large items or glass items, I would not be using max shipping. We have a wide variety of sizes of items. I can utilize the flat rate boxes a lot as possible. That really helps keep the cost down on there. So max shipping, I would not go into until you feel very comfortable with shipping on Whatnot and how, and I say this in the best way, not in the wrong way, to manipulate the system. And I mean manipulating of how to make sure that I'm running items that are not running 20 big items back to back that one person may buy all those. I'm manipulating in the sense that I am not, that I know how to use the flat rate box at that time. Different things like that is how you want to go into the max shipping. It's something that we chose to do as a business because it made sense for us. It's a law of averages. On average, we're going to pay out the most is 10% of our money on the back end when it comes to the max shipping shows. If you are not comfortable with knowing how to switch things to flat rate boxes or you're running all large items, that's going to be substantially more. So it may not make sense for your business. If you're selling only minis, you're selling jewelry, you're selling things that are very small that you can know always will go into a flat rate box if push came to shove, I would only be doing max shipping. But we obviously sell bigger items. And if that happens, we pay the overage. So anything over that 5 pounds, if that's and the box is bigger than that 1,728 cubic inches, We as the seller, we pay the difference. We can't go to the buyer and say, hey, we had max shipping on, but your shipping's actually $20 instead of $9. You owe us $11. Nope, that's not how Whatnot works. We will pay that $11, and the buyer will never hear from us that we paid that. We're just going to ship it to them, and we're going to eat it as a business.
Is that max shipping given on the first item, or is it broken up during multiple items?
So if you're doing max shipping, you can do it whatever way you want to set it up. We run everything at 8 to 11 ounces. So we run items that are 10 pounds and you will only pay 8 to 11 ounces. We run items that are 6 ounces. And guess what? It's 8 to 11 ounces because we sell volume based. We cannot afford to dinker with the weights and go back and forth because it's going to take so much time and energy for us. It's going to slow our auction down. So we run everything at that weight. That's why we number everything. That's why shipping takes me 8 hours. If we weighed everything correctly, I could ship 250 items in 4 to 5 hours, no problem. I have to weigh each box and weigh all the items to know what box and strategize on it. If not, I would be even quicker with shipping.
What do we do max shipping 921 on our mini shows?
Yes, many shows is 921 max shipping. We do that on everything. The only show that we've done that was less than 921 was the playing cards. We did was max shipping of $5. But you'll see any of our shows, it's a standard. It's max shipping at 921, and all the items run at 8 to 11 ounces. And there's a strategy behind that on business wise, is because your first package to ship should only be about $5 to $6 depending where you live, which is a lot more feasible than if I tried to charge you 921 for your first item. It's a lot more intimidating. You're going to be a lot more susceptible to want to buy if it's at that $5 to $6.
Just a reminder, we did go over 73-cent shipping for giveaways. Just a reminder, this whole video is filmed and recorded, so it will be posted on our social medias. Check the show notes to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and we will make sure this entire thing is posted and you can make sure you don't miss anything.
And Kitchi Mushroom, our bigger shows, every single show is the same 8 to 11 ounces, except for minis. We will go down on that, but our standard shows are 8 to 11 ounces shipping, and it is max shipping at 921. So, like our show last night where we cleared the shelves, or 2 nights ago, was it Sunday night? We cleared the shelves 266 items. It was max shipping at 921. And I think we paid out $83 right in that range for shipping on 266 items.
Our favorite place, real quick, all of our shipping supplies is in our Amazon link located on our Instagram bio. You can see all the supplies. The only two things outside of that is the bubble wrap is from American Bubble Boy. American Bubble Boy is where we get our bubble wrap in bulk. And then our extra boxes are from Walmart primarily. Home decor, you woke up a winner. I'm so glad you're here.
If you're missing a label, you're going to have to reach out to Whatnot. If there's something going, you can email seller support at whatnot.com, or support, I forget what it is. It's saved in my email. But you're going to have to reach out to them. Unfortunately, I don't control their back end or things like that, but you can reach out to them for that.
If it doesn't cost $9.21, where does that extra money go?
That extra money stays with Whatnot. So if you're a new seller, we do not recommend doing max shipping. We recommend weighing each item up front. We talked about this in the beginning. Say this was a vase and it just threw it over. But say this was a vase that weighs 11 ounces. I'm going to round this up to 1 pound because after bubble wrap and boxes, everything like that, it's going to be over a pound. So I might even do a pound to 2 pounds, whatever it is. Buyers are not afraid to pay for shipping, guys. I'm going to be honest. We run max shipping. It doesn't mean that our buyers are better or that we're better or anything. It's just what we offer as a business. If you're putting the correct weight in there, they're going to understand because they're not buying shirts that they know you can throw 10 of them into a box and they're like, why am I paying tons of it? So if there's overage and it doesn't get there, though, to answer that question, it goes to Whatnot land. You can reach out to Whatnot and let them know. But it is a process and it doesn't always get refunded to the buyer.
I didn't think about it. I will see if our white shelves are in fact from Amazon. I will see if they are still on there and I can add those tonight. The lighting we use, what is that called? The strip lighting that we use?
LED Govee lights.
Our LED Govee lights are what we added to the back of our shelving. I don't necessarily recommend it because it can cast shadows we have our actual lighting here, our stand-up photo lighting that we recommend rather than doing a backlight. It's always good to light from the front so you have limited shadows.
Stay home to shop. I've seen you say a couple things about profit. We don't go into too much of our numbers because that's proprietary information. But we set aside, we know what our shipping costs are going to be. If you've been in our other shows, we source in bulk. So we know what we typically have a per average item, and we know what our per average sale is. So we can absorb those as well because we're selling such quantity that it gets lost by the end of it. It doesn't eat it up a lot.
But because we've earned it, can you explain what does premier seller mean? Around our name at the top, there's those gold wings. What does a premier seller mean?
Yeah, real quick, tape is in our link as well. It's from Amazon. So premier seller, guys, there's a lot that goes into it. Is one, there's no policy violation, so we've never violated anything or even had a warning from whatnot for selling things that we're not supposed to, being disrespectful, rude, anything like that that can get you flagged. That's never happened to us. Two, you have to sell at least $50,000 in 3 months. You have to ship out within 2 days. Average, you cannot have delayed shipments. It has to be 95% or more, I believe is the criteria. And you have to have at least 95% fulfillment rate. If you saw earlier, we're 100% on both of those. That is the biggest thing we've always had is I want our buyers to get what they buy, and I want it to get there as quick as possible. Have we had to cancel orders? Yes. Just the other day, actually, Susan loves our little the mouse in the things. I dropped one, it shattered.
Thank you, Caitlin, for the raid.
Thank you so much. I had to cancel that order, and I just reached out to her. And guys, if you do anything that's going to affect the buyer, like canceling or something, send them an explanation. I sent her a simple message that, hey, friend, I'm so sorry I dropped this and broke, but I already refunded it to you. You should see that refund pretty quick. She said, no problem. So it's just about that communication as well.
So real quick for Premier, you do have to maintain that same 50,000 in 3 months every single months.
It's a rolling criteria. It's actually month to month. Once you attain it, it goes back 90 days, but it stays month to month. So like for June, we have to hit from April, May, and June, and then July would be May, June, and July, and it just continues to roll that 90-day average.
And what's the perks of being Premier?
So perks of being Premier is one, you guys, if you're not Premier, have to, and I don't say that in a bad way. I'm sorry if that came off wrong. I really try to be careful with what I say. I apologize if that came off wrong. If you don't have Premier Shop, you have to email whatnot, wait for a response. We have a direct access to a customer service chat, so they will answer us typically within a minute. They're in that chat and they're responding to us as long as it's within business hours. And our commission, that's not the biggest thing, but our commission is reduced by 10%. So the standard is 8%. So we get our commission rate for whatnot is down to 7.2%. So there's extra money that comes, and they promote our shows, not like in the sense of like the paper promotion, but the algorithm will push us more.
So real quick, for those that are new, what's it like before those 1K in sales with getting your money?
So once again, like I said earlier, you want to ship fast because before the 1K sales, and we've all been there, is you get paid out. I believe it used to be 48 hours. I'm going to go off of what I knew when we were there. It was 48 hours after delivery or after they left a positive review. So if they leave a good review or it's the 48 hours, then you're going to get paid your money. So it can really fluctuate depending on when people get delivered their items, all that. So the quicker you can ship, the quicker that you're going to get paid on your items if you're under that 1,000 sales.
We need to get back on track, but can you hold a buyer's package until they return from vacation?
No, you have to ship out. If you hold,
I got you, Vintage.
If you hold that package, you are going to get penalized. Unfortunately, the buyer needs to be responsible on their end and have someone pick up the package, things like that. And you have to explain that to them, that there's no way for you to hold it for them because you're going to get penalized. I've had to ship out as well. What I will do, I've had this happen to one other person, is I waited till the second day. I didn't do the one day. I did the second day. I said, I'm going to hold it as long as I can before I get penalized, but I will give you at least an extra day. And it actually worked out perfect. The day they got home is when they got their package.
We want to reiterate for yourself to have goals, especially if you're a new seller, getting 5, 10, 15, 20 followers, reaching that 1K in followers or 1K in sales. These are all milestones that Jacob and I celebrated as we went. You can't just start hoping that you just fall into the end result. Be proud of yourself as you go along and continue to educate yourself and make those adjustments to better yourself. That's what we've done this entire time. And we've had to keep making changes from our lighting to what we're picking up and how much we're spending on our items when we shop, all the way to the shipping and how he can ship faster. So we've made a lot of changes, and that's why we always dedicate every Tuesday night to seller support so that we can give back to all of you and hopefully help you skip a couple steps and don't make the same mistakes we've made.
And Carrie, when you buy something tonight, it won't come with the physical video, but if you go into your purchases and under your activity, you'll be able to access the video receipt. And right now, there is a glitch in the system where you can rewatch the whole show.
So there's two things we always say. I'll say the first one, Jacob can do the other one. The first one is community over competition. That is our motto, it's our heart, it's who we are. We have to, this is why we always pour into the community. Oh my gosh, Vintage Besties, you're so sweet. We always want to give back to the community that is nonstop giving back to us. We believe that the Whatnot is different than any other platform out there. You will be successful if you continue to pour into your community around you. The other thing is about comparison.
Yeah, guys, comparison is the thief of joy. I
say it again.
Comparison is the thief of joy. You guys, what I said earlier for business is you got to set goals and you got to stay focused on what you're doing. Now, is it good to compare against your past self? Absolutely, because you always want to improve. But don't compare yourself to any other seller. We tell you guys all the time, each of you brings such a unique and amazing personality to this platform that it's vital that you continue to be you. There's already a House of Coop. There's already a Pixel and Patina. There's already a Vintage Besties. Like, those people already exist and they're amazing people. There's already a you. Be you and bring that to your customers, bring that to this platform, and you're going to see yourself succeed. And you guys have to know that whether you reached 1,000 sales and your friend who joined a week before you is at 5,000 sales, don't compare yourself to them. You don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're on 5 days a week and you're only on 2 days a week. Like, there's so many different things and different factors that go into it that are more than just the algorithm, that are more than just your inventory. There's so many different things that go into it that you can't get bogged down with just focusing on what someone else is doing. Or if someone else has more followers, they may be going and paying for a bunch of promotions that you don't know about, and that's why their followers are going up. So don't get focused, and you can't watch someone all the time, so don't compare.
And I don't even know what I was going to say, but yeah, basically, you don't know how long people have been on here. Some people Jacob and I do this full time. Some of you are part time. Some of you are literally just doing it because you have too much stuff in your house and you need to clean up a few things so you can keep buying and your addiction, which is how I started. There's so many different variations and people on here that you can only be the best for yourself and do what works best for you and get on here when it works best for you. That's why we always say to take everything with a grain of salt, because there's so many right ways to be on Whatnot, more than there are wrong ways. So just keep that in mind. Thank you for all the sweet comments. Yes, a rising tide lifts all the boats. We need to talk about bundling and unbundling and what that means.
Yeah, real quick, How Vintage.
Guys, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Yeah, thank you guys, by the way. Any purchases, all tips. We do these seller support shows because we want to see this community grow and we want the right
And we have. Done. Can we just say that?
What?
Just how much Whatnot's grown since we've been on here?
Guys, Whatnot, let me tell you, just in general, Whatnot, I believe they said their sign-up rate is up 400% this year overall for the app. Which means all categories are going to grow, which means vintage is growing. The average show size now, what used to be an average size of like 10 to 15 people in a show is up to like 30 to 40, which is absolutely amazing.
What was our first show like?
Our first show, we had 4 people in it, which was us, Ashley's mom, Ashley's brother, and my coworker, and we sold like 3 things and made $20. It was like the craziest show.
Our show was like 12 minutes.
Yeah, we were like 12 minutes, and we were on and off like that. So
we're like, oh, we're gonna go now.
We started off small. We haven't been this big. We weren't always volume based. We've learned. We've adapted. Real quick, somebody asked about like people have like buy my dog a treat, things like that in the bin. We used to do that as well. Whatnot actually discourages that. That's against their policies. That's why they implemented the tip feature. So they would rather you just tip the seller than buying something like that for them. But if you do buy anything out of someone's Buy It Now, If you don't have local pickup, there's going to be a shipping cost. You have to ship something. That's whatnot policies. But unbundling and bundling goes back the same way that I was just showing there earlier. You can just click underneath edit if they bought multiple items. You can just click unbundle, and you can, so say they bought this monster and this shrink wrap, but you need this to go into two different boxes because it weighs too much or it's too big. You just click unbundle and select the items. If it's only two, it's simple. You just click the one. But if it's 6 items and you need 3 in one box, 3 in the other, just make sure you select the 3 that need to go into one box and 3 into the other. If they paid the correct shipping, you're not going to pay anything on the back end for the overage unless it's over that 1728 square feet and there's not enough coverage there. But if it's just based off of weight, you should be fine as long as they paid the correct weight.
No, tips do not count in sales. They do not. Thank you, Lala. You're so sweet, guys.
If you do an unbundle, it will only count as an adjustment if they have to change, if there's any type of overage for weight. If there's no change for overage of weight, you will not have a label adjustment against you.
Hey, Hectic.
The 1728 is total cubic inches. If you Frankenstein 2 boxes together, then that would be that. But if it's 2 different packages, you have that total 1728 for box 1 and box 2. Those are going to be separate, not for that total.
You can choose whatever you want for giveaways. People do stickers, ephemera. We do patches. We've done a little bit of everything, but at the end of the day, giveaways are free. So if someone complains about a giveaway, just continue to be positive. It's you just giving something for literally free. It's not costing a thing. Our little sister collects stickers, so we always use her as a great example. Like, someone out there loves stickers and you don't even know that you're just making someone's day every time they win a sticker. So and if there's such thing as a givey goblin, who can move on. Guys, you do giveaways at random.
When we first joined the app, we were in every show trying to win giveaways, so it's part of the excitement. Real quick, someone asked about poly mailers. You can use poly mailers. If you buy a shirt from us, it's going to come in a poly mailer. If you buy linens from us and it's not very heavy or big, like if you bought just a dolly from us like normal, then it's going to go into a poly mailer. If you buy just like a magnet that's not breakable, it's going to go into a bubble mailer. So we use every piece of mailing tool that we can. Whatever helps us save money and is going to protect your item the best. So it's all about using your judgment, getting comfortable with things as you go.
The other quick thing we just want to mention, shipping is not for the weak, right? It's not for the weak. It takes hard work, commitment, dedication. If you're feeling like one day you can conquer the world and the next day you feel like it's easy peasy or it's hard, that's normal. You can fluctuate your feelings, but at the end of the day, if you just get in there and get it done, it's over, and then you cash out that money. You know what I mean? It's instant gratification when it's done. Jacob has days when he wants to take a nap, and then other days he's like, I'm ready. I'm out here. I'm watching a Whatnot show. He's buying on the side while he's packing. So packing can be the most daunting for some people. Others, it comes easy.
Trolling people. I love going into your shows and trolling you. So,
but it does take grind. You know what I mean? But that's the whole thing. If you want to be able to be successful, you have to be you have to do the shipping. And I love just really giving Jacob some praise for all the thousands and thousands of items he's packed, because I am sure there is somebody and someone out there who thinks House of Coop has a garage of minions that pack everything. And I guarantee you, we do not have a team of people. I will say we just hired a full-time employee that will be starting hopefully in the next couple months. But to this day, Jacob has been the only one. So kudos to him. We would not be House of Coop without him. So.
Guys, I do have to give one special shout out because Ashley has helped me before. She's never physically like wrapped stuff up and done the whole shipment thing, but we do everything on a number system. So she has definitely helped me with the numbers. And then when we went to this last estate sale in Virginia, Jameson, our new employee, came with us. But I have to give a special shout out because there's only been 3 people ever that have helped with shipping, which is Ashley, Jameson, And our mod Cameron, when we went to Tennessee, she was right there with us.
Yes,
guys.
she was.
She was on the floor going through everything. We had to figure out some different things on video receipt.
Great.
So I always love to get the praise back. Cameron was the only other person that's helped us with shipping, and she is not a seller. And I literally at one point had to tell her, go sit down. I got this, because I could tell she was overwhelmed because it's a lot. I always want to give the praise. Right. Yeah. So absolutely. Someone asked how many shows we do. We do at least 2 shows a week, but normally it's about 3 to 4 different shows a week. Every Tuesday night, we do the seller support guys. We do this out of the kindness of our heart. So we really appreciate those who buy from us during these and tip us, because it means a lot for your appreciation for what we're doing, because we want to continue to see this platform grow.
The other thing too, I don't know if you've known it about House of Coop. I hope it shines through everything that we do, but positivity and love is like the heart behind House of Coop. Um, if you are struggling and you're having a bad day, speak up and tell somebody so we can uplift you and support you. If you are a new seller and you're feeling down, or if you've been on here for a year and you're feeling down, tell somebody. You don't have to feel that alone. We've had people message us to be like, yo, I just need a pick me up. That's okay too. Baby Gentry, welcome in. But that's okay too. That's normal. Whatnot is a roller coaster when you're on this journey. And that's normal. You're gonna have good days and bad days. So don't think you are the only one, because you're not. Sorry to not single you out there. But being positive is huge though. And also, and this just wrapping it up, positivity has a lot to do with
you, Margo.
When you have your people shopping and friends in your room, and they come into a room that is not positive, it's going to take away from what you're selling. At the end of the day, you are here to sell, and your personality and your mood really affects the room. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. There are so many incredible personalities. I could literally list so many people right now of how many great personalities of people just being them. Just keep that in mind. Even if you're having a bad day, keep on pressing. All right. Keep on pressing. You got this.
It's Given Vintage. Thank you for the tip as well. And someone asked again if we get our packages picked up, or if we take them to the post office. We get about, I feel very bad having our postal lady pick up 100 packages. That's definitely their job. They will do that. But we live 5 minutes from the post office. So typically I'll set aside 50 packages at the door, and I'll take the rest to the post office. But you can get them picked up for free. Certain more rural areas, they will not pick up for free. So you just need to contact the post office, your local post office, and make sure that they will do pickups and what their procedures are. Guys, I've heard tons of people say my post office.
Thank you, Thrifty.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I've heard it. My post office is horrible. Blah blah blah. When's the last time you just went and talked with them? Obviously, there's bad people out there, but we talk about the 80-20 rule. 20% of the world is miserable. They do things their way. They're never going to go with you, but 80% of the world is good. Focus on that 80%. So I guarantee you there's at least one good person in your post office. Talk with them, figure out what works best for them, because they are a business as well. And you want to make sure that
Mom, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Mom. But
love you, Mom.
You want to work with them and figure out the best procedure, and just make sure that you're providing what they need, because at the end of the day, it is their job. But it's just like, this is our job. I want you guys to treat me with love and respect. I want you should treat them with love and respect, and figure it out too there.
So again, if you're just starting, and we're gonna flip this around. If you're just starting, you have to start somewhere. I do want to just announce this. We started in the corner of our 600 square foot apartment. We were in a tiny space, and it literally took over our entire living room. You have to start somewhere, and you're going to build and get better. You have to be willing to build and get better, and not just get stuck in a rut. So we're so thankful that you guys are here.
Listen, Linda, the duplicate label, you would think the post office will catch it, but they are dealing with millions of packages a day, because you got to remember just the volume from Whatnot. Plus, there's other different different platforms out there, different companies.
Think about how you're feeling with just your show.
So, like, they may miss that you duplicated a label. honestly, at the end of the day, as the seller, you're responsible for your quality control. So you got to make sure that you're really double checking things as you go. Because at the end of the day, if you ship something out wrong, if you forget a label, things like that, it's on you as the sellers. Just make sure double check things as you go. I do it all the time. I have an OCD anyways where I have to check stuff all the time.
So in our Amazon storefront is the exact fan that we use. This garage is not air conditioned.
We are going to be getting a mini split, but not
it's
yet.
not air conditioned yet. We use the Ryobi wireless fan. We've had it for years. We have 2 of them, and my whole family uses them. The Ryobi wireless fan. We live in Florida, so you can tell it gets hot, but we do keep our door open leading into our house, which does help with some airflow.
Someone asked about the receipt when you drop off packages. If you're uncomfortable or you don't know if they're going to scan the packages in, once again, you have to be quality control. There's nothing wrong with knowing that they scan them. I built up a relationship now with our post office that I have 100% confidence that they're going to scan the packages in for us. But at first, I always wanted to double check as well. So there's nothing wrong with that.
The other thing too is there's a lot of buyers that are coming on here that don't know Whatnot as well. Oh my gosh, Eightfold.
Thank you so much.
That was so sweet. There's a lot of buyers coming on here who don't know how Whatnot works either. So have patience for your buyers. If you get a bad review, learn from it, like Jacob said, and keep pushing. It's going to get buried. Don't lose your whole brain and mind over a bad review. We've had them as well. If you scroll down enough, you're going to see some things mixed in. So don't get discouraged by that. And the second thing is, even for giveaways, if somebody does a bad review on a giveaway, literally just keep on keeping on. Okay. There was something else I was
Real
going to
quick,
say.
Eileen, you can definitely put a PWE in a personal mailbox and put the flag up like the standard. We live in a community that has mailboxes like at a certain area, so that does have a drop off thing. But you can definitely it's snail mail. I just bit my tongue. It's snail mail, so it's old school like you're used to. So it's just like if you want to put the flag up and they pick it up there, you can absolutely do that.
Amy's pre-loved treasures. You woke up a winner today. Thank you so much for being here.
Instagram real quick and make sure we answered all questions.
We're gonna go check Amazon.
Instagram.
We're gonna check Instagram to make sure we ask questions on there sometimes. So we're gonna make sure that we went through all of those. Just peek through them real quick. I think you already did.
Yeah.
Again, take the time to follow each other. Reminder if you're new as well. Not every seller wants you to promote in their shows. So just be respectful. Guys, thank you so much. Seriously, you're really blessing us with the tips. Not everybody wants you to promote in their shows. So just be respectful of that. That's probably the only like hot topic I could say that not everybody seller feels the same about. Some don't care and some do. So only when they say it. So I'm just giving that as a heads up, just so no one like slaps you on the hand. Go ahead.
So, real quick, someone asked, is there a way to offer free shipping? You absolutely can offer free shipping. Underneath the shipping, where you can put where seller pays all shipping. Be very careful because shipping is not cheap for your item. So, if you're going to do that, you got to be prepared. You're going to lose some money. So,
not here, Roses. You can ask any question you want.
Yeah, you can always ask us any questions. If
Just don't ask for my social security number. Okay?
We don't go into our financials and some different, very personal information. We're never going to give you tax advice. We're never going to give you business advice. I know the biggest thing is like the licensing things, like that auctioneer license. Check with your local state, everything like that. But we won't give you anything there. Also, someone asked where to order supplies from. Once again, in our link tree. And our Instagram has everything that we use on a daily basis. And then for bubble wrap is AmericanBubbleBoy.com. So you can do that. And then for standard like ground boxes, we go to Walmart. They have like 6x6 by 6 boxes that are 68 cents. And then those 15 by 12 by 10 boxes that I showed you earlier, those are like $1.08 each. So those are good boxes as well there. So, but you can definitely get I'm looking at Uline and some other ones. Oh my gosh, Santa's Misfit Toy. Thank you for the raid.
Thank you.
We're doing a seller support wrapping up as far as shipping. I'm looking into Uline and that. I never got to finish checking that out. Got honestly just ADHD brain. I got distracted and moved on there for you. Oh, her first show. We were your first raid. Congratulations on your first show. Hope it was so successful and amazing. Thank you for choosing us out of anyone for your first raid. Guys, please go give her a raid, her or him, excuse me, a raid. Thank you so much.
Follow, not a raid.
A follow. I've been talking for 2
Give
hours.
Him a raid. Oh yeah, you know what it's like now. Are you ready to
anyone happies and heirlooms a very long tubing? You can get like a standard tubing like for posters. Are there are priority boxes before that were for posters. I don't know if they have any available. We never ship posters, but I bought like 4 or 5 things of them because someone said they were going away. So I typically, and by the way, if you're ordering from USPS, ground advantage is like 5 days. So you want to order well in advance. Typically, I see it take over a week to get to me. So if I will order a bunch of boxes at once, and I know that I basically have to get it in 2 weeks. Like I have a few boxes that I have to order, and I know it's going to take some time to get there. What are we going to do when summer's over and you can't buy pool noodles? Just move to Florida because there's pool noodles for sale all year round.
No, there's not mine. You ready?
Guys, if there's no last minute questions,
no,
we'll be on tomorrow night.
We'll be on tomorrow.
Then we will also be on for Vintage Wars this Saturday, guys. Make sure to bookmark, come into it, and then Battle of the Best on Sunday. So we're gonna have a busy weekend, guys. We really love to see you guys, and
yes, we're waiting to hear back from them.
To see you
guys. Thank you so much for being here. Our favorite part is raiding into somebody who doesn't have a lot of people in their show or is a new seller. I already picked. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid into a brand new seller and a friend of House of Coop, Donna Simmons 22. She's probably going to freak out. She has no idea. It's always a surprise. We love to do it. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to our friends. You're all of our friends.
We love you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.